Previously on the other dungeon, Akefo found Sleeve at the bar before rejoining the party in Sin's hut, and deciding to send Ivory to retrieve the book they recently returned to his father, while Erog and Sin went sleeve hunting and shopping, and Bakefo and Ergu went to the Kalath residence, where they found a wild tiki-taka under attack, so they rescued the boar and bought disguises, while Ivory in the High East visited his father at work before heading to his childhood home to get the aforementioned magic book. And now, the other dungeon continues.
Ivory has been in the High East. When we left him, he was about to walk in the door of his childhood home, but heard his mother singing to herself inside as you push the door open, singing her favorite song as you walk in the door. Here you are in the vestibule of your childhood home. Memories come flooding back, right, sliding down that banister when you were just 40 years old, a young elf. You could tell the sound of her voice is coming from upstairs.
I notch my crossbow and I walk upstairs.
You step on that one creaky stairs. Your mom stops singing all of a sudden and asks, "Who's there?"
I don't respond. I keep walking towards her room.
He asks, "Who's there?" again.
I open the door.
There's your mom bathing in the middle of the room in her big tub. She's gonna screech and then be like, "You startled me." So are we rolling for initiative here?
I am the 8.
I got a 17, so if she sees you with a crossbow, she like ducks beneath the water. But now it's your turn, and now you can just stand over the tub and shoot her if you want. So I don't know if it was the great escape plan on her part.
It's literally like shooting a fish in a barrel.
Yeah, so now all you see is the bubbles in this very large tub.
I take my dagger out, start to thrash. Aimlessly, water.
Alright, roll an attack versus your mom's AC to see if you hit her while she's stabbing into the tub.
It would be 11.
11's a miss. You stab. Nothing bloody. But it is a pretty big tub.
Did you react to this or anything?
You see some movement in the water. It's her turn now, but she's still holding her breath apparently.
How deep is this tub?
Only a few feet. Only like 3 feet deep. Like hot tub sized tub.
I'm gonna fire a crossbow again.
Alright, so you're gonna fire a crossbow into the bubbly water. Roll an attack.
10.
10 miss. So the arrow goes into the tub for sure. It's like bink, like it hits the tub, but no blood.
Alright, so I'm like really pissed now, so I throw my dagger into the wall, and I jump into the tub.
Alright, you gonna try and like grab your mom or what when you jump in the tub?
I'm trying to like...
Roll me a C and B if you're trying to like just tackle her in the tub.
14.
She's too slippery. You got your hands over your mom's naked body and you just can't grab a hold of her.
Oh my god.
Stay still, you evil creature.
Oh my god.
She's gasping for air. She's gonna try to leap out of the tub. That gives you an attack of opportunity though.
Do a melee attack. I keep the back of her knee. 14.
Just barely a miss again. She rolls onto the floor all wet, grabs a towel, and says, "What's the meaning of this?" Tries to like wrap herself up. You're all like wet in the tub now. Dagger stuck in the wall, crossbow's all wet.
I throw a Pokeball right at her head. As I'm grabbing the dagger out the wall.
I forgot about this.
So roll me a B plus Dex to throw the Pokeball at her.
That'd be 18.
Oh, that is enough to hit your mom. Roll me a D6 damage.
1.
Does hit your mom, bounces off, rolls on the floor. Now, if your mom dies within 30 feet of this sphere, it'll capture her soul, if it is your mom or whoever's soul it is, and that soul will be stuck in this ball.
Okay.
Your mom's gonna say ow, and look down at the ball and say merde, which translates to shit. Your mom changes shape right before your very eyes. Reveals a fox-like form known as Kitsune, a fox-like humanoid, able to shapeshift from fox shape to humanoid shape. So now your mom's all covered in fur. Still a lady, but now a much younger lady that looks like a fox. She's just wrapped in a towel, and she hisses at you and yanks the towel rack out of the wall and does like the bring it hand motion.
I'll cast Cause Spirit.
Alright, I get a will save on that. I only rolled a 12. I'm frightened. So she's gonna dive out the window.
I go for the necromancy book in my father's study.
It's right where your dad said he left it.
Get me in my backpack. Heading back to find the group.
Alright, so as you head out the front door, there's a big crowd outside. There's Immortal Nick's passing through. It was really, really crowded. You're having to struggle to get through this crowd. And sundown's happening. There's a big crowd built up here. Nick's going through town with his entourage. Everyone's cheering and yelling out and asking for favors or wishes to be granted. And he's just heading back towards the spire from whatever daily business he was doing.
Can I see him?
Perception check.
13.
It's very hard to see him. You can see kind of the area of it where the attention of the crowd is. You can assume that's probably where he's at, but you can't see him. The crowd's way too thick. And you're headed the opposite direction. You head back north towards where you left your allies.
That is where I want to go.
Alright, roll a perception check when you reach the crossroads.
11.
It's getting pretty dark. You head up that way. You see some people, a large group by the road, but some of them are dressed kind of dark, and so you can't tell if it's a guard or friend or foe. Meanwhile, group headed back to Sin's shack. Roll perception check. You guys will spot your ally Ivory coming up the road. You guys both probably have dark vision too, so no wonder you're able to spot him. Headed your way. If you want to alert him, let him know it's you so he feels safe approaching at a faster rate rate of speed.
Yeah, I yell, yeet!
So Ivory will realize it's you and hurry your direction with his bounty. You guys can rejoin.
We also out loud just say, Ivory, like we say,
Yo, yo, boy.
I don't say that, though, bag.
Just make her.
Gurgle, gurgle.
I asked how it went.
How does everyone share evenings? My mom, totally a fox lady.
What?
So you guys share the knowledge from your latest adventures. You guys have a big pig now.
Found sleep.
She wants us to burn down someone's hut or directions.
I'm gonna burn down somebody's tent.
Yes, yeah.
Alright. So light rain's coming down as you guys share this information, and you're cramped together in this space, but you're safe.
I filled the necro book. I'm gonna bust out that bottle of whiskey that I had and take some drinks out of it and pass it around.
I take 8 sips and that's it.
Can I free to ride around?
Yeah.
Becky with the good hair, you're gonna realize that your bag's like soaking wet in the bottom now once air goo gets free.
I look at the air view and I'm like, what the fuck?
It smells like voidworm pee.
I give Becky the necromancer book.
Do you leave your wig on, Becky, or do you take it off when you guys are in the shack?
Take it off.
You leave the dress on, I assume.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Is there enough room to set up my alchemy lab?
It's pretty tight space. It'd be easier if you did it outside or if you waited till tomorrow when there's less people inside. With all these people in that shack, it's, like I said, pretty close quarters. You guys lay down, you're gonna be laying on each other.
I'm going to do necromancy church in the morning. Resting time.
So you guys just all pass out in a big pile with the pig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on
top of Aaron.
I don't think I sleep, so I just flop around against
Like, I'm going to be on that.
After a night of rest, the party wakes up together. You guys are all together on a big pile. So it smells pretty rank in here after sleeping with a pig and a drippy worm and a bunch of pirates and a rat person.
The place smells like shit.
I would like to rinse out my pee bag outside.
Secretion, not pee, let's be clear.
LP. I'm just gonna be kind of flopping around above everyone, just like gently slopping and making wet slopping sounds against the wall and ceiling. Kind of rattling all your trinkets to create a little sense of chaos.
Careful, lizard, my shiny.
I can't hear.
Get out of here.
I gurgle squeal.
There's just too much happening. I gotta get out of there.
I mean, they're gentle slaps.
Alright, those of you that go outside, you'll see it's early morning, pretty clear day. Nothing spectacular and all this. You see some farmers at work in the distance. A little bit of activity in this part of town.
I think to myself, wow, what an average day.
Almost too average.
This day makes me suspicious.
I put my head inside the shack and I go, hey guys, I'm really suspicious about today. And I'm just naked Phil in the street shaking out a secretion bag. So I go back inside and
Put your dress back on and your hair.
Can I hide under your billowing, like, dress?
You want to get in my crotch?
I mean, I've been there. I just want to, like, hide all of under there some more. If I have your consent.
You have my consent, just please don't trip me.
Oh, it wasn't that trippy. I just want to hide inside of your billowing, flaying fabric.
Maybe you can like wrap yourself around Phil Kefo's leg.
There you go. Yeah, a wet garter.
Yeah, give me another disguise roll to put your disguise back on, and give me a stealth roll, Ergu, to hide yourself if you want to hide yourself on that leg.
I'm not going to be Becky today.
25.
Ergu's wrapped on your leg really good.
I can't seem to get the wig on.
Before, you put the dress on, but it's on kind of funny. You know, you've lost the fake boob look and stuff. It's obviously wonky. Your wig's on kind of crooked. You had help in the store. Now you're having trouble.
I woke up like this. I turned to Sin and asked Sin to help straighten my wig, please.
You can roll a disguise check there, Sin, to help the Kefo look more like a lady.
Help me look like a lady.
14.
Above average, not perfect, but doable costume. The wig is straight now. The dress is straight.
I like push on his boobs, like,
Can I be your boobs?
That was going to be my next question. I was going to see if the voidworm would be my titty.
This is going to lead to an NPC trying to fill you up. I just know it. I'll save that for later.
Alright, well, I look at Sin, I look at my lack of boobs, and I look at Sin's body, and then I look up at Sin, and I'm just like, Sin, do you have a gender?
I'm like, I've never really thought about it. I've never really been attracted to anybody or really been asked about it, so.
Because Sin's the only rat folk I've ever met.
For the most part, I'm a dude. I don't really go by anything. Everybody just calls me rat.
I nod as a man dressed as a woman, and I'm just like, I understand. As a woman
In a man's body, dressed as a woman, yeah.
I'll wear whatever as long as it looks nice.
I thumbs up, and then I just like hike my
Beauty comes in all sizes and shapes.
I'm outside the shack just hanging out. Is there anything going on around the area out of the ordinary? You know, people on their way to work. Anything that catches my eye going on outside.
Perception check.
True, 16 though. So,
Nothing really out of the ordinary, except seem to be a very heavy guard presence. I don't think you've noticed this heavy of a guard presence in this area before. It seems to be pretty heavy patrols up and down the roads right now.
Can I, like, eavesdrop on the guards? Is there guards near us?
The road's pretty far off and most of them are on the road, but you can try with a perception check to see if you pick up anything at all. Maybe they're being really loud.
Oh my god! What's going on? Okay, at least it's 13.
They're not talking a whole lot. You can hear them marching around, but you don't hear a lot of conversation about what they're doing. Not just walking around talking about what their job is or anything.
Just an average day.
any townsfolk just generally going on about their business, but not walking, like stationary.
You see some farm workers doing, I mean, I wouldn't say they were stationary, but you see some other farm workers in the area doing their general, like, early morning type chores. Feeding animals, taking care of crops, that kind of stuff.
Right, approach one.
Yeah, you can walk away from the shack towards one of these farmers if you like.
I greet him. Hey, how you doing there?
Oh, hello.
Quite average day today, isn't it?
Oh, I'd say so, but it's been a pretty average week. Average day yesterday, probably average day tomorrow. This is an average time of year overall. You check the weather almanac. It says this time of year is a generally average time of year, which is why our crops are doing so well right now, because the druids tend to maintain a very average overall temperature. So as long as the druids are happy, we're happy too, you know?
Yes, perfectly average, just the way I like it. You know what isn't average? Listen to these guards. What do you think about that?
Oh, I don't know. They don't bother me. I don't bother them.
You heard anything about all these guys? That's an above average presence of guards.
Probably just looking for some troublemaker.
Troublemaker. Have you heard anything more? You got, this intrigues me. What?
I mean, I've only been up a couple hours. I haven't heard a whole lot about what the guards are doing. I'm just making assumptions here.
Well, good luck. Enjoy your perfectly average day. And I walk
Can I
away.
see if I hear? Can I roll to see if I heard the whole conversation? I never want to approach the guards because I'm a rat hole. They always they're too judgmental, so I don't want to feel like eavesdrop. 25.
Yeah, you heard all that.
I approach one of us should ask the guards who they're looking at. Like we heard that anyone's good at sweet talking.
Not me.
I'm left by the shack. I follow Jen.
Alright, so you're all now just a short distance away from the shack, in between the shack and this farm.
Yeah, there's a lot of guards. I think that perhaps migrate somewhere else.
I gotta see a man about a night. I'm free after that. We'll keep an eye on this guard presence for a minute, and then we'll talk about what the plan is.
I feel like she's heavy of a guard presence for day burning out of character because I can't speak.
So, we'll lay low.
What do you think
But
they're looking for? I don't care if you're gonna remember if they're.
who knows? I haven't made any trouble, I don't think. I begin my journey to the Enchanter I spoke to a few days ago.
I just follow without question.
I just walk away. I want to get my knife enchantment.
Searching for a weaponsmith.
Yeah, I remember a recalling enchantment where if I throw something, I can call it back.
A cold weapon, yeah.
Yeah, I would like to put that on my Mortooth dagger.
Oh, you have 6,000 gold?
I do.
Or 6 platinum, as it were?
I have 6 platinum, and I'd like to spend that on that enchantment for my dagger.
Alright, you'll need to leave that dagger behind for 3 days.
3 days? That's fine. You got other things to do. So,
Thank you. I've always wanted to be avenged.
You guys are able to make it to the market in the accomplices without crossing the guards. Somehow your strange-looking group didn't draw any attention to itself.
That is pretty stealthy.
Yeah.
my averageness that throws them
Yeah.
off.
Did you want to roll another spellcraft check there, Arog, to disguise your appearance again, to change it anyway?
No.
You're still riding that same old, same appearance?
My Juan Diego persona.
I want to hide in the shadow.
I have never felt more average as a man.
I'm gonna scope out the place.
The weaponsmith in particular, or the market in general, or?
I just want to scope out the place and get a very good idea in my head, so I can draw on a map later on the market layout.
See what you're saying? Yeah, you have a good idea of where everything is. The smaller tables are organized by color. The shops are sort of organized by type or by quality. Yeah, you can map out this area pretty easy if you needed to. I mean, you lived here your whole life, so you don't have a problem with this area.
Whispering burn it down.
Okay.
Like slowly louder and louder until my comrades are like, what the? My hand up, like in front of me, and then I make like my little finger jazz hands like flames behind it, and I move it up and down my arm to like signify to them that like, you know.
Alright, roll linguistics, anyone wants to figure that out.
Can I hand her one of my rations, and I look around, I'm like, this person's hungry.
You're not yourself when you're hungry.
I give her a ration and walk away.
I take the ration because a bitch is hungry. But I also wonder why Sin just acted like they didn't know me.
I totally understood what you were saying.
And I eat it. I like eat it with both hands and just watch Sin walk away from me.
You guys are so good.
Alright, you guys spend way too much time in the weaponsmithy. You guys get out of there.
I want to taste the little snake oil cart. I want to kind of like hang out near it, talk up some merchants while I'll, keep an eye on it.
Yeah, perfectly average day at the market, so you could arrive there as the crowds start arriving, kind of keep an eye on it, walk back and forth, scope it out. It's a moderately busy cart, no more or less busy than any other carts around it. Perfectly average cart.
Just the right amount of...
Just the right amount of busy. He's there all day, and the little mute kid is there with him. Doesn't seem to do much, but stands around the cart all day.
I want to check out that cart and see what kind of items are being sold at that cart.
Mostly those cheap potions that kind of smell and taste like alcohol. Some other little trinkets, doodads, sort of like talismans, that kind of stuff. Religious symbols.
I immediately check out those things.
You like the little doodads? Yeah, there's lots of tiny little doodads, knickknacks, little carvings, little tiny metal pieces. There's a little iron, a little tiny metal iron, and a little tiny metal top hat, a little tiny metal car, amidst a bunch of other little tokens like little plastic houses.
Handmade weird looking jewelry or something.
He doesn't have a lot of jewelry, but he does have a couple of these same type of tokens on chain. Looks like pretty cheap chain. Only the ones that'll fit through a chain. Like there's one that's shaped sort of like an iron on a chain. There's one that's sort of shaped like an, I don't know if you know what an Ankh is as a character. There's one that's like Ankh shaped, but small. Not a symbol that your character would be familiar with in the game by that name, but an interesting symbol. Like I said, your character wouldn't really know what it is either, but a symbol. It looks like a religious symbol.
What is the shiniest one of the two? The iron? Or
The iron looks shinier than the religious symbol does.
How much is the iron?
They're both pretty cheap. They're both only 5 gold.
I look over at Arag. Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Well, you know what? I do have something.
Okay.
I'll,
Point it at that one.
I hand the dude 5 gold.
Yep. And I slap it on the table.
He says he didn't sell a whole lot of this junk, but his son leaves it here, so...
I don't want to hear about yourself.
Damn. Can I ask him how much the Ankh one is?
5 gold.
Can I get that one?
Yeah, of course. This guy loves making money.
Spots I was burn down and stuff. All I said.
I felt a little bad. But I also did shiny
I
stuff.
feel great about it.
I kind of want to go back towards Becky now.
Yes, as I put on my new necklace.
Well, that's what I was going to say. This may help you. Please take care of it. It's really nice and shiny.
Ooh, I take it and I would like to put it around my head as a crown. I want to detect some magic on these necklaces.
Oh, there is none.
Okay, I put both of them on.
Yeah, you put both of them on. You got necklaces on. You
I
can
do like
it's extra chains.
sultry dance in front of this shack because this average day is just making me feel real comfortable with like who I am as a person right now.
Now, was that extra jewelry meant to increase or help that disguise check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you roll right now with advantage to improve this costume. So roll it twice and take the better of the 2 results.
That's the point.
Oh, you are looking much more feminine now with those 2 necklaces. The jewelry really helped.
Becky.
You're surely fooling everyone now.
Is there anyone advertising any sales or anywhere I can buy some magical treatment?
I mean, people all through this outdoor area are having sales on stuff, but the sale stuff tends to be cheaper stuff, knockoff stuff that may or may not work. There are some fancier import stores closer to the Calath House, those fancier shop district of this market area. Some of those places purport to have enchanted or magical items. A lot of those are like ring bell for service type places or by appointment only type places. There are some pawn shops that occasionally deal in magical goods that come through there. Well, you know pawn shops.
Pawn shop. You said you'd do anything for that 5 gold. I need you to find us a reliable boat that can ship people and cargo back to the treasure.
Cargo. How many?
Finished. Also, a way to attach that to the ship.
Kind of cargo.
I mean, whatever we need, really, probably food. Also, on the down low, I'm looking for a cannon. Please don't do that.
Let's ask around for a cannon.
Like a big ass cannon?
Oh, big ears.
No, I don't think about you like that. I mean, if that's just like in your time, whatever. Try to get it done soon. I mean, we're trying to get moving, so I'm not saying like go do it right now, but like maybe by the end of the day, I guess.
Oh, okay. So,
That wasn't like an order. That was the trade-off. I give you 5 gold for that. Need that information
by the end of the day.
by the end of the day. Sure.
Before we do,
I want it on my
before we do real things, right?
Right. Pawn shop.
Well, you guys make it to the pawn shop. They're having a sale on rings right now. Magical rings.
Let me see.
I want to look at
Yeah, they have a ring of blinking, a ring of climbing, a ring of evasion, a ring of force shield, a ring of mind shielding, a ring of swimming, a ring of the sophisticate, and a ring of X-ray vision.
What's up with that ring of blinking?
It's marked at 60,000 gold, and you can ask the shopkeeper about it with a diplomacy, or you can just know about it with an arcana.
No, I would just like to look at the price tags and see if there's anything that's a ring that's under 40 gold.
Not at this pawn shop, no.
I just look around casually.
Yeah, the cheapest rings here in this case are 5 platinum. Right now they are on sale though. 40% off.
Alright. What are the cheaper rings?
The cheaper rings just appear to be plain gold and silver rings that are usually 100 or 50 gold. Nothing magical about them.
Crazy weapon? I don't know.
They've got some rods for you magic users, some belts, some interesting jewelry, bracelets, hats and helms, strange magical bottles, capes, and elixirs.
Those strange magical bottles. I've caught my attention one of those.
Perception check to examine them more closely.
Got a 16.
Alright, so most of them are labeled pretty well. These guys check out their stuff apparently. So right next to a small bag of holding is a bottle of air, a bottle of Yeti fur, and a bottle of messages.
No, I just want to know the price of the bag of holding, and I want to
The bag of holding is 5 platinum. The shopkeeper lets you take it out and have a look at it if you like.
Yeah, I'd like to check out this bag of holding.
Yeah, he takes it out of the case, lets you hold it, peek inside, you can put your hand in it, put your arm in it, yeah, real big.
What's the
So-
quality of this bag look like? Is it like a nice bag, or is it kind of like
I mean, the outside just looks like burlap. It doesn't look like anything fancy. If you didn't know it was a bag of holding, if it wasn't labeled, you wouldn't know it was a bag of holding. According to the shopkeep, even if you fill it all the way full, it only weighs 15 pounds, even full. That's if you fill it with about 250 pounds of stuff, he says. It'll hold about 250 pounds of stuff, or about 30 cubic feet of material.
I will keep that in mind.
A great way to lighten your load.
What time is it?
It's still pretty early morning by the time you guys haven't done very much. You just go up to the table for a little while, go into a couple shops before midday still. Guard presence still seems pretty heavy. Even this part of town, there's a bunch of guards walking around, asking questions. They haven't bothered you guys yet though.
Let's get some lunch.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's get some lunch.
Yeah, there's plenty of places to get lunch in the market district. Waffle carts, rat dogs, wharf dogs, all kinds of chewy treats,
Wanna grab that?
popping corns.
Is there anywhere we can sit down in private?
That's probably either a tavern or back at one of your shacks. Tavern won't be that private, there'll be people around, so unless you get a room.
You guys want to go to the zoo?
Yeah.
Seems like a perfect average day. You guys decide to go to the zoo after your shopping.
I just want to know one thing, though. While I'm like, kind of like, acting like I'm actually looking for stuff in the market. What his neighboring booths are selling, what types of items.
Seems to be a lot of snake oil salesmen in this part of the market, and some clothiers or fabric workers, people that sell like fabric or homemade clothes, quilts, things like that, embroidery.
Alright, perfect. I'm ready to join up with the rest of the gang.
Yeah, you guys all get back together. I mean, you were pretty close. They can find you. Guards are still around, but no one's bothering you guys still. They seem to be like within feet of you guys and don't seem interested in you at all. But are around and poking around and looking for somebody.
We're not doing anything
We're
weird.
average market people. Check it out.
To the zoo.
So we get lunch?
Yeah, you guys get some. You want to get some lunch on the way to the zoo?
Yeah.
Let's make a day of it.
Yeah. Let's get some food.
Roll up.
What kind of snack would you guys like to obtain?
Is there any kind of like grilled lizard?
Yeah, definitely have some grilled lizard.
I'll try to find a lizard on a stick.
Yeah, you guys can get lizard on a stick. Pretty much any kind of small animal on a stick you want, you can get. They're a little expensive because a lot of this wild animal meat's brought in from outside of the district or has to be farmed. So it's not too cheap. They're about 5 gold each.
I'd like to get 2 of those.
Alright, you get 2 lizard on a sticks.
I'm gonna get one lizard on a stick.
5 gold. At the lizard on a stick stand, there is some berry compote that some people are putting on the lizard on a stick. You're welcome to free berry sauce if you bought a lizard. If you didn't buy a lizard, you have to stealth it.
I got 16 stealth on that dunk.
You do a double dip. That's what you're stealthing. You're allowed to have some, but you got a double helping of the sauce.
I just thought it was there for our convenience.
No one seemed to mind or notice, so you got away with it. You got a double dip of sauce.
Lizard was delicious.
Do they serve drinks?
They do not serve drinks, but there is a public fountain in town which some people drink by their hands out of. Sort of like a decorative fountain. The water at the top of the fountain seems cleaner than the water at the bottom. You're welcome to go scoop some of that if you want, or go to a bar and get an ale.
So we get some.
Beaker. I got a beaker.
Beaker's good.
There you go.
Yeah. Fill that beaker up with berry juice, sauce, whatever.
Let's take this meat to the tavern.
Alright, so are you taking more sauce than you're supposed to there, Arog?
I mean, I'm not taking a lot. I'm not filling the beaker up.
I mean, you're supposed to be putting it in a beaker to begin with. You're supposed to be putting it on your lizard on a stick. So I think now you have to do a stealth check if you're going to be putting a beaker full of sauce also.
I want sauce on the side, man.
They might charge you extra for that if you don't stealth it, is all I'm saying.
Oh, so we are actually Chipotle.
First dip is free.
I got a 16.
I rolled a high enough perception check that the guy does catch you trying to put some sauce into a beaker and he yells, 2 gold! 2 gold!
Oh,
No extra sauce! No extra sauce! 2 gold!
where's the sign there? Don't tell me that.
You pay 2 gold!
I'll give you 1 gold.
Intimidation check. Or diplomacy.
We'll go diplomacy first. 7?
You probably do want to intimidate with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean in a little closer. I'll give you 1 gold. That is a 26.
Yeah, that works. You're not like a guy to mess with. 1 gold, okay. You get out of here, though.
I give him
No more for you.
Yeah, let's go this way.
This time as you guys head south out of the market, you are stopped by some guards on the road.
I grab behind Arog.
You're with this lady and this rat folk, and you seem to be the person to talk to, so they'll come straight up to you, sir. Perfectly average-looking man that you are, there, Arog, in your magical disguise. I'm gonna roll a will save to see if they notice, or see if they're able to see through your disguise. Oh, I rolled a 2, so they all think you look like a really average-looking human, and not a scary orc captain. And they'll approach you very friendly. They don't seem to be wanting to start any beef with you. They just approach your group as you're leaving the market, ask if you saw anything suspicious, that they're on the lookout for a thief and a murderer, and if you saw anyone matching the description of a skinny, pale, waifish moon elf.
No.
You know what? I don't think anyone like that comes to mind. Me and my friends were just on our way to the zoo on this perfectly average day.
They hope that you and your young lady friend and your hairy child have a fun time at the zoo. They're sorry they've had to bother you. They let you go along your way to the zoo. You guys head through some of this druid area where there's like little druid huts are, big open field. Druids are out there waving their hands in the air, making the perfectly average weather happen. Keeping things all copacetic here in the donks. Average weather. As you guys reach the zoo, still perfect 70 degrees. Sun's in the sky, but there's like a light cloud, so it's kind of nice. Like a little overcast, but not too much, not like cloudy. Just a nice light cloud coverage. Clouds that look like stuff, like clouds that look like snakes and rabbits. It's actually very, very nice clouds. Big puffy ones, but not like too close together, you know? So you guys reach the zoo, you hear the animal sounds. There seems to be some sounds of people inside, not a whole lot of activity outside. Would you like to enter the zoo?
Hell yeah.
You're lucky, today the zoo is free. You guys came on a zoo holiday. They give these free days for the public every now and then, and the zoo's free today, so you guys are welcome to enter. And check out the menagerie of collected animals reared by the local druid population. Would you guys like to examine all the different animal exhibits?
Yeah. What we got?
Oh yeah, first one you see is the elusive gray squirrel. Impressive species, right? Look at its poofy tail. They look kind of ferocious even.
Oh.
You wouldn't want to be attacked by a large number of them.
What are these, what does their containment look like? Is this like a, monkey island in the middle of a pond situation, or are they in a cage?
There doesn't seem to be any cage or bars of any kind. They just seem to be watched over by druid guards, basically, that are watching these exhibits. Very low walls. There's signs advising you not to feed the animals or reach your hands in, but you could if you wanted to. There's just advisory signs saying not to. Please don't disturb the druids or other animals, basically.
These squirrels do anything crazy?
Not on their own, it's just chilling, eating nuts. It occasionally look over to the druid, sit on its shoulder. It seems to be very friendly with the druid. It seems like each one of these exhibits will feature a druid and its familiar. So these druids kind of show off their familiars here at the zoo and show animals to the people that are interested in seeing what animals are like. So if you would like the druid to have the squirrel do something or have the squirrel, you just need to talk to the druid about it, basically, are the kind of the rules here.
I don't have druid. Do you have any extra nuts?
Roll me diplomacy to ask for extra nuts.
8.
Ooh, extra nuts, no, but she does sell bags of nuts for 5 gold.
I point to my head necklace. I'm like, this necklace is 5 gold, and I look at the nut.
You can diplomacy to trade the necklace for the nuts if you want, but otherwise she doesn't seem interested in bickering with you about the price of nuts.
No, I'm on to the next one.
I wanted to buy a bag of nuts.
Yeah.
What's next? What's after the gray squirrels?
There's a red squirrel.
Oh,
There's a brown squirrel. There's a lot of smaller animals. There's some large lizards. There's some birds, hawks, peregrines, flamingos.
What's the largest creature in the zoo?
Oh, there's an orangutan.
Alright, check him out.
Check him out. He's a funny looking dude. Making funny faces, doing hand signals at people, making gang signs, it looks like. At least to you as an orc. Seems like a very funny little animal. It even smokes some sort of cigarette in the middle of this... in the middle of this enclosure. With its druid master, they both smoke some sort of rolled up leaf cigarette together.
Can I join them for a rolled up leaf cigarette?
You would have to hop over the enclosure, which the signs advise you not to do.
No, I'm good.
Are there any camels in the zoo?
No camels in the zoo.
I'm just like shoving nuts into my mouth.
I put my hand on Tim's shoulder and reassure him that he will find camel.
I would do that too, but I don't have arms and I'm hiding.
I hope she's not scared.
I researched and I don't think.
She probably has some feelings. She denies them, I know.
What's the druid where,
I touched it.
monkey smokes a cigarette?
I just did it, and he just copied me.
That's a smart monkey.
I'm keeping a real low profile in the zoo. I feel very, like, anxious being around this many druids.
Yeah, the druid can tell you're hiding behind Arog, and so is Sin to some degree. He shrugs and says, everybody's got something to hide except for me and my monkey.
That sounds suspicious, dude. And then I walk away.
Yeah.
You guys wander around the zoo, look at all the small to medium-sized animals and their druid friends. Have a nice free afternoon at the zoo.
Is there a gift shop?
You have to exit through the gift shop, although it's not large. Mostly it's like packs of seeds, little druid trinkets. So it's like stuff made out of pine cones and twigs. And it's definitely like stuff to like give money. It's to raise money for these druids to feed their animals and stuff. So it's druid trinkets.
I already bought food.
Is there a camel trinket?
There is something that looks sort of like a clay camel figurine.
How much for that clay camel figurine?
And this clay camel figurine was made by the druid that owns the orangutan. You want 60 gold for it. It's a little bit larger than your fist.
You know, it's crazy for some clay, right?
He says, that's not clay.
Oh.
Oh, what is it?
He looks down at the ground below his orangutan's behind,
Oh,
where a fresh orangutan do sits.
I'm like, that's even worse. It's free. And then I put it back on the shelf.
Hope you wash your hands.
I'm wiping on my pants.
Oh, man. Now your pants are dirty again. Your pants are...
Just need to buy it and then touch it and take it to my house.
To be fair, he was very honest about it, but he could have not ever told you it was monkey poop. He let you know as soon as you picked it up.
Is there mud around? I would like to look around for some mud.
There doesn't appear to be any free mud on the ground. Some of the enclosures have mud in them, but once again, you have to cross over these little enclosures where their signs are say not to cross to get to the mud.
I'm good.
You guys leave the zoo after a long day of looking at small animals. And where do you guys go once you leave the zoo? That's important to find out.
I would like to look for some free dirt.
Oh, outside the zoo, there's dirt all
Yeah.
around.
Is there mud?
I mean, there's dirt, and with water, it can become mud. Do you got water?
I have secretions around my leg.
Yeah, you can make air goo secrete down your leg and make some mud if you want. You don't mind getting your leg wet.
Don't just feel like for pee and just pee.
You could just pee yourself and blame. You can blame air goo for it.
But you can use my secretion?
Yeah. I'll wait until I find a puddle, like some mud.
There's not a whole lot of rain in this area, so unless you go down by the docks, you're not gonna find a lot of mud unless it rains.
I would actually like to go check on our little boat. I want to make sure that it's still there. We've been gone away from that.
You guys want to head south down to the orc territory down to the dock? There's a pretty heavy orc presence when you guys reach that edge of that area. Do you want to keep up your disguise, Arog, as a normal-looking human, or do you want to reveal yourself as an orc before you approach?
I was thinking about that. I did not forget about that. And I'm not trying to get into any other fight. I will drop the Juan Diego disguise.
Alright, just in time. So you drop your disguise just as you get close enough. There's a big group there. And they thought a bunch of humans were coming to bother, but then they see Arog coming, and you're coming through the side of town where you're kind of familiar with these guys. This is a gang you kind of ran with, so you don't have any problem walking through here and getting down to the docks, down past the area where Sin Shack was located, where your boats are still safely harbored and being watched by an orc guard. True to his word, your treasure chest boats are still just sitting there. Not a whole lot of other boat traffic, so he will, like, whenever he sees you, will, like, hold out his hand as if to ask for a little money to keep doing his job, but otherwise your boats are safe.
No, that's fair. You've already done a pretty good job. I'd give him a small stack, 5 gold.
That's a lot of money to an orc, so yeah, he's happy to keep watching your boats for that.
Alright, I want to check on human ships. Can I look out into the ocean and, like...
See if you see anything. Perception check.
Yeah, alright. Well, because it is a distance thing, I do have that spyglass.
Yeah, you can pull out your spyglass, that would help.
15.
Above average, pretty decent. You're not able to make out much. You will be able to see the ship. Like the top of it, it's still there, hasn't gone anywhere. Of course, you can't see what's going on inside. You don't see anyone on top of it or anything. You just see like the top of it just barely poking out of the water.
I guess we could talk kind of freely here now.
Yeah, or you even know Ivory Shack is somewhere near here, and you left Ivory in Sin Shack, so Ivory Shack is usually an empty little like closet that's near the water. If you guys wanted to go hide there and talk.
Yeah, let's go do that.
The tide's kind of high, so the water kind of comes up to your ankles, but you can hide in this little closet, metal shack, and talk to each other in private.
We're in private now. We can talk about all the dastardly things we wanted to talk about. We're in town. My dagger won't be ready for the next couple of days. 2 days to plan this, like, arson plan. Need to find those small ships. I am down to maybe rob that pawn shop. I plan on talking to the Blutes and seeing if they might want to join us on this deep sea adventure. So we might be able to recruit them as well.
Can we ride out in the ship right after the pawn shop robbery?
Sam needs to meet up with Sleeve after that. You're
Can
trying
I get Camel do some normal people shit, like skin and get a bunch of shit done real quick.
I was gonna talk to the slime boys as well, see if they're down to come on this.
So you guys discuss your various machinations and plans for the future with gangs, robberies, pirates, arsons, all the various degrees of crimes you plan to commit in the future.
This is also the shack of a wanted murderer / thief,
Yeah.
so I don't think we should stay here.
We need to be a blind check.
That's true.
Just in
Yeah, let's
case.
go back to Sin Shack.
They're unknowing.
Yeah.
I do want to get out of this shack. I don't feel safe.
Alright, as soon as you guys walk out of the shack, there's a plethora of guards just outside of the shack searching for your friend Ivory as you guys walk out. So roll me a stealth check to not be observed as you're leaving Ivory's shack as they ask around about where Ivory lives to these orcs. So right now they're hassling orcs, and so they might not talk to you guys if you can sneak away.
I'm not sneaking away, guys.
I got a 16.
Mine's a 6.
Should I roll?
Well, you're underneath the dress. I think your roll from earlier still counts.
I'm 25 as fuck right here.
I guess it's 18.
All of those are beat, so you guys are definitely spotted by these guards as you try to sneak out of the shack.
I'm switching back to my average band. No, I'm gonna change my face. I'm gonna go with another random guy. This
Right.
guy's got a dark mustache and kind of medium swept over hair.
Alright, roll me a spellcraft check to illusion that up.
19.
Alright, not bad. I'll roll a will to see if they spot any differences. I rolled really low will, so they're gonna think you look like a human guy. A human guy? A human possibly lady? And a rat folk coming out of a mysterious shack. So far, none of these orcs are snitches. None of these orcs have told these guards where Ivory lives. So even though you're coming out of Ivory's shack, they don't know that's Ivory's shack. Luckily for you, they just stop and question you. So they just want to know, have you seen a person matching this description? Do you know anything about him, his whereabouts?
Haven't seen them all day. Heard about it. Haven't seen anything like it.
This time I'm going to need a bluff check from you guys. I didn't get one last time, but this time I want a bluff check from everyone that says anything.
Okay. I got that for 20.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't say anything, I just shrugged.
Nice. I got 18.
It's obvious these guards would much rather hassle these orcs than you guys, so aside from giving your rat folk friend a dirty look, you human folks seem innocent. They do seem suspicious that you're in this part of town, but you're not Ivory, and you're not with Ivory, you don't seem to know anything. They shrug off sort of like tourists or something is what they assume. You guys must have got a cheap Airbnb rate in this part of town or something. Shed that floods. So where are you guys heading as you walk past these guards still hassling the orcs in this territory?
Go to my shack.
Is there anywhere we can rent a room?
Yeah, you can rent a room back up in the Market District. Sometimes there's rooms for let down here if you want to stay in someone's house, but if you want to stay in an actual inn, Market District is where you want to go.
Fine with me. How much is it per night?
10 gold a night for just the moderate inn, if you want anything crazy. Just 10 gold a night for a room that you could probably all fit in. Might not be bed space for all of you, but you could all fit in the room for 10 gold a night, no questions asked.
I'll throw 2 gold on that.
I rent the room for 3 nights.
Alright, you guys have a place to stay for the next 3 nights.
You know, 3 of my gold.
Meanwhile, in Sin Shack lies Ivory Zool fast asleep, alone except for a sleeping boar Tiki Taka, but it's still wearing people's clothes. So the two of you are asleep on the floor of Sin Shack when there is a rapping on the door. Let's both roll perception checks to see who wakes up first, or if anybody wakes up at all.
12.
Tiki Taka rolled that 4.
The 12 is not going to wake completely up, but is going to stir and hear the rapping. Tiki Taka, the boar, still totally asleep. This rapping on the door does not concern you. You're an animal. But
I
Ivory,
let out a little fart.
you definitely fart a little, and it smells like whatever you last ate.
I'm gonna stay silent. I'm gonna say shit.
The rapping on the door continues. Roll another perception check, Tiki Taka.
Freaking rap.
Ooh, natural 20.
It was your own fart that woke you up. So startled by the sound of your own fart, you wake up and jump and start like running around the small shack, trying to get away from your fart smell, sort of half asleep also, bumping into whatever's lying around, whatever sin's left lying around the shack, or various trash collections and shiny things and baubles.
Lots of shiny things.
I'm running as fast as I can.
Rapping on the door continues.
I'm gonna stand up now and put on my fancy hat.
Oh.
You dressed up for company, huh? Nice.
I forgot the robe because I'm like in a hurry to stand up. Have to sleep still, so.
Oh, so you still have the purple robe. So you have a purple robe, nothing underneath, and a hat.
I wake up and I cast mage armor.
Nice.
Good defensive move. You never know what's outside that door.
Is there any windows in this?
There's some slats. Like, there's little places where, like, light can seep through, but there's no window. There's a door. There's, like, holes, but there's no windows.
I'm gonna try to get the attention of the pig.
It's running around pretty frantically. You want to try and calm it down with a handle animal, maybe?
That was an 8.
Not very good at handling that animal. Animal's still running around in circles, and you're like, you have your hands, like, outstretched trying to, like, reach for it and calm it down, but it's trying to get away from that smell. It doesn't know you as well as it, I guess, knows a lot of the other adventurers that you were traveling with. And you're not that good with animals, apparently. You're gonna have trouble calming this pig down at the moment.
Hyped up.
I pull out a trail ration.
Ooh.
A full trail ration.
Ooh.
And wave it in front of the piggies.
Alright, roll me a handle animal +2 with the trail ration.
That'll be 9.
With that roll, it's not good enough that you have to follow any orders, but if you want to, you can snatch the snack or you can keep running around in circles. It's kind of your call.
Smelling the snack, I run towards the snack and eat the snack at like a run by.
You can roll a dexterity contest to try to, like, whoever rolls highest will get the snack.
I got 4.
I got a 4.
Was it a tie for a 4? So at this point, like, half of the thing is in your hand and half it's in the pig's mouth. It hasn't bit it, but it's like you're playing tug of war with a trail ration, basically.
I'm getting that trail ration.
This
Like
pig's-
enough to stop.
Unless you
stop
roll a
running
successful
fast.
handle animal right now, this pig's at least gonna eat half this trail ration.
Sorry, so I look at the pig, I'm like, listen here, Ham. Why are you so like, discombobulated? What's going on, pig? You can't understand me, you're a pig, you're Ham.
Yeah.
I don't understand any of my language.
No, it's looking at you confused, eating half of your ration, but we'll say that it's calmed down enough to, like, at least for this period of time, it's staring at you. The rapping has continued very softly, intermittently.
I'm just chewing and looking at this really large boar that is just not speaking well at all.
He's walking on 2 legs, and he's got very pale skin, and he's wearing a purple robe and a hat. But you're wearing clothes
Never-
too, so that's not that weird, I guess.
Well, I feel pretty weird. I didn't dress myself.
So I'll just start speaking in Elven.
Yeah, it's closer. It's from the Feywild. Maybe it'll come across. Is that what you're hoping? Like, what do you say in Elven?
Just look into my eyes, little bacon pig. What's wrong? Show me what's wrong.
Tiki Taka, roll linguistics.
14.
Not bad for a pig. Maybe you can't understand it, but the Elven language is very soothing.
I'm a boar.
Boar, yes, which is a type of pig, a wild pig. So you can't understand the words that Ivory is saying, but the Elven language is very soothing and friendly and calming.
This person is my friend because they roll around with my homies. I just don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
No comprende.
You squeal back no comprende in your boar language, which just sounds like a squeal. Knocking on the door continues. Roll a perception check.
19.
You hear a very faint voice at the door that says, with much strain and much deliberation, "Son?"
Oh,
Can I perceive that creep?
You hear the noise too. You definitely hear the voice. It's a quiet voice, but you hear the voice at the door as well.
I'm gonna load my crossbow.
Alright, locked and loaded.
I'm gonna just whip open the door.
Alright, open the door really fast. Roll a perception check, both of you.
19.
8.
All you see, Ivory, is an old woman in a dark cloak. She seems pale, her eyes seem strange. She doesn't look that familiar to you. Tiki Taka, this is an old, smelly lady. She's covered in bandages. It's a rotten smell, but you're kind of into rotten smell, so you might be kind of curious. She smells funky. Maybe that's why you rolled so high. You got that boar truffle nose. You just sniffed her
I
right
love
out.
that funk.
You might come up and start smelling her feet if you want to. It's kind of up to you.
I would love to smell her feet.
She stands there. She doesn't seem to be a threat. She seems like an old lady.
What business have you?
Ivory! You don't recognize me, do you? That doesn't matter. You need to come with me right away.
Why would I go with some stranger?
Just trust me. Take this. She hands you a robe. We don't have time. Hurry, put it on.
Quick knowledge arcana that robe and throw it on then. 17.
Definitely a magical robe. You sense conjuration magic about it. It just looks like a ratty wool robe with a hood. Looks like a thieves robe, kind of. You think it might contain some sort of extra-dimensional space. You don't know exactly how it works at this moment, but you have an idea that it's magical, and possibly you can either draw things out of it or hide things in it. She says, if you're in any trouble, on our way to where we're going, just say wickety whack. That'll activate this magical smuggler's robe. No time. Come with me, hurry. I've got to smuggle you somewhere.
Can I sense that motive in that?
You may.
Natural 20.
Oh!
She seems trustworthy. Something about this woman seems honest and good to you. Something about her seems familiar almost. She seems like the kind of person you can trust for some reason.
I hold out another trail ration to bring the pig along.
I fucking go for it.
Alright, Pig will follow you out the door, and you want to follow this old lady as she hobbles along? Alright, you'll see in the distance a large cadre of guards coming up the road towards the shack as you guys head sort of northwest towards the market district across the road. She says, put the hood on, put the hood on. So you kind of cover your face as you guys walk. She tells you to hunch over like her so you look like it's an old lady and the pig. There's nothing you can do to hide the pig, I guess, but you guys keep
I'm in
walking along.
disguise.
So what I need you to do right now, Ivory, is roll a stealth check to see if these guards get an eye on you guys and follow or not. So roll me a stealth check or disguise. I'll accept either, and I'll roll perception against that number to see if they spot you. You said 15?
Yep.
I got a 13 perception, so it's just enough that they see people leaving this direction, but you're just far enough from the hut. Like, you guys were able to make just enough distance to the road that you're not identified with the hut. They keep walking towards the hut as you guys walk away. They're definitely walking directly towards your hut. You see it as you guys look over your shoulder, and they're, like, coming to the door as you guys are, like, just entering the market district where the crowds are and stuff. So you're sort of near the purple and red and yellow table area right now, trying to blend in with the crowd. This old lady's kind of leading you. Passes some tables you've seen before. You're from this town. Little shops. And then towards the northern wall, there's a large, strange rock. She grabs your hand. She looks down at the pig that you're still trying to make follow with half a ration. She says, if that thing's coming, you need to grab it too. I'm trying to grab the boar.
I'm gonna grab the boar.
Boar, are you going to allow someone to grab you or resist?
I am getting grabbed, giving Ivory the puppy eyes of I'm letting you pick me up, so you best give me the other half of that treat now.
I'll let you, if you want to feed the other ration, that seems like a good idea, unless you want to roll a handle animal to not have to.
That's my puppy face.
I have a lot of rush.
Maybe roll me a strength check to see if you can carry this boar, because you're not a very strong fellow. You're a pretty wafy elf, but let's, and this is a boar, a wild boar.
17.
Oh yeah. Pick up a boar, you carry it. The old lady touches you as you carry the pig, and she, like, grabs your arm, and she falls into a rock, and you fall with her, inside of a rock somehow. You reappear in a dark cavern. Confused? It's completely dark. You cannot see any more than, maybe, like, just in front of your face. If you felt around, you can kind of get enough idea of the stuff around you. The old lady's still there, the boar is still in your arms. You're in some kind of cold, dank cavern, but you can't see anything around you. She still grabs your hand and says, "Follow me."
I'll follow you. Okay.
She moves slowly because she's old. And the longer you guys have walked together, the more you're able to make out cadence of her voice, more familiar things about her. Roll me a perception check or knowledge history to see if you're able to piece together what's going on.
He's 14 perception.
All right, roll me history too.
18.
So while your perceptions are still muted because it's so dark and you can't see a whole lot, the sound of the voice, she's humming a tune as you guys walk to this cavern. Something very familiar about it reminds you of your mother. She leads you down this cavern into a room where a torch is lit, and you can see it's dim light in here, but you have low light vision, so you can see in here. Into a torch-lit room with an old man, 2 fox people, and 2 rat folk. And they are gathered around what looks like dead bodies on slabs.
Okay.
It's a little scary, but I think you're into this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's right up your alley. The old man turns around. He, too, looks pale, old, and decrepit like the woman. In this dim light, you might notice now there's something strange about their skin's sort of like translucent. Their eyes have lost color, and they look strange. Their hair looks stringy and weird. Their nails are long and pale. They're kind of creepy, almost dead looking. But the man you sort of recognize as long as you roll me a perception check that's higher than 12.
21.
Oh, much higher than 12. So you definitely recognize this man as Old Mert, although he looks a lot older and decrepit and sort of necrotically, through some sort of necrosis, black magic. He's got like black veins, looks sort of decayed, but it's definitely Old Man Mert. Sort of like your uncle growing up. The guy that your dad worked for, he'd come to the house all the time. It's kind of the guy that got you into black magic when you were a kid.
I thought Nick the Immortal killed him.
Everyone did, but here he is, sort of alive. There are definitely bits of flesh not so much sticking to him as well as they should. He's missing some teeth. Like I said, he looks decayed. And so does the old woman. After recognizing Mert and this long walk down the hallway and that tune she was humming the whole way here, you might also put together that was your mom. Your real, true, actual mom, who you also thought was dead, but is just an old zombie-looking lady, just like old Mert.
I would just like to point out that Tiki Taka is by the doorway, or like whatever the entranceway is right in the cusp of it.
Playing it cautious. I like it. Cautious Tiki Taka. Old Man Mert asks, "Do you have the book?"
I don't have the book anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Nick doesn't have it, does he?
No.
Thank the stars. It's incredibly dangerous. I left that for you when you were a boy, hoping you would uncover all of its secrets. Have you had a chance to ruffle through its pages?
Only read it once. It taught me a spell.
Very good, but I gave you that book when you were just a boy. You've had years to study it.
I never had the book as a child.
Damn your father.
Father!
He was always such a prude about magic. Said it would corrupt you.
Ruined my life.
Do you know where the book is now?
With my friend Becky.
Excellent. Then we can retrieve it, and all will be safe.
Here's the thing about that. I don't know where Becky is.
Damn.
We were separated.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help you find your friends, I will. My magic powers are much depleted in this weakened state, and without my magical texts and magical items, my powers here are few. You see these bodies laid out before me. I've practiced my necromantic arts as much as I can remember on them, barely keeping your mother and I in this decayed state ever since the accident. but I've yet to be able to succeed in fully bringing back someone to life. We need that book to unlock the magic secrets of the other realms.
Well, if it's my book, that means I get to keep it, right?
I would gladly pass my secrets on to you. I always intended you to be my protege until the accident. If we send you back above ground, can you retrieve the book and return to us?
First off, how are y'all still alive?
I wouldn't say we were alive as much as we were not dead. He holds out his hand and lets you touch his hand. It's cold and clammy. He lets you feel his chest. There is no heartbeat. We eat, we breathe, but we never sleep. And I must constantly reapply this magical repose or else our bodies decay even faster.
What was the accident?
It happened in my lab. I think Nick was trying to kill me. I barely escaped.
So he sabotaged you?
I'm afraid so, and I can't return to the lab like this. As you know, necromancy is illegal in our realm.
It's really disgusting. You're very hard to live in.
But being in this form, being an undead is forbidden. Zombies should be killed upon sight.
I feel bad for y'all.
If we are seen above ground, we will be slaughtered. Your mother took a great risk to rescue you from the guard. She also took great risk to deliver gold to you in the past. She's always looking out for you. She cares very much for you.
I can't thank my mom enough.
If she could blush, she would. But she, does a pushaw hand motion and stands next to Mert, holds his hand.
I can't speak common, but I am picking up on the subtext.
Yeah, you got the vibe. Are you willing to return to the surface to retrieve this book?
Well, I might need a few spots of gold. Y'all got any gold?
Diplomacy.
12.
Your mother goes over to the bodies laid out on the slabs and starts rummaging through their belongings. Returns to you with 120 gold in a sack.
You're so hardcore.
She says, well, they have no use for it, do they? Can't take it with you.
I'll spend it for them. I want to whip my cloak. It's really fucking cool.
Have you tried it out?
Wickety whack.
Say wickety whack.
Wickety whack.
You say wickety whack, you and all non-living objects on you are sucked into an extra-dimensional space within the robe, leaving the robe to collapse on the ground wherever you were standing. You're now inside of an extra-dimensional space. You can breathe in there. You can't move around very much. But you're hidden. No one can see you. It's like there's just a robe on the ground, no person there. You can leave the extra-dimensional space anytime you like, reappearing inside the robe. You can see the area around the robe, but any special senses like dark vision or blind sense don't work. But you can see the area around the robe while you're inside. So after a few minutes of hiding out and looking around, you want to pop back up now that you got the hang of the thing?
We'll get the book for you, but you gotta teach me everything.
Gladly. All you have to do is join the BS.
Yes.
The Black Swan. Are you not familiar with your history? The Black Swan is a group that refused to leave the underground when everyone else went to the surface. Mostly animal folk, rat folk, Kitsune, the fox people, refused to go to the surface thinking it was still too dangerous, and then after a while got refused entry to the surface and have had to form their own life down here underground. We hid out using their tunnels. We have association with their group. Although there are several factions of the Black Swan, the one that we belong to is very interested in the necromantic arts, and so we've offered our services for theirs. So if you join their group, you can travel freely through these rock passages and return to this place.
There's a whole network of just rocks.
Yeah, rocks that lead to tunnels underground. Magical rocks that take you to these secret tunnels. They were designed by dwarves thousands of years ago. And the Black Swan just uses them. They figured out the magic.
Who leads the Black Swan?
There are many factions with many leaders.
How do you become a member of the Black Swan?
The initiation is simple. He does a finger motion at one of the rat folk, who comes over with what looks like a giant needle. Pick a spot.
I'm gonna go to Little Zan with it or some shit. I'm gonna put it right on my face.
You want a face tat? Official face tat. All right, you go for the face. Hardcore, dude. You're gonna be branded with an obvious gang sign now. The sign of the Black Swan. You get tattooed onto your face a tiny little black swan symbol with runes around its wings. And while the guy's doing the tattoo, he says a magical chant. And once the tattoo's in you, the magic is in you, dude. So now all you have to do is find any rock with a black swan marking and touch it with your hand and close your eyes and you will fall into one of these caverns. Your Uncle Mert will warn you that after you retrieve the book contains many of his secret notes. It was his original primer when he was an early black magician. So many of the spells are very simple. On the surface, it looks like a basic primer spell book. That's why he gave it to you as a child. It looks like very low-level spells, nothing special. But if you remove the pages, it makes a dimensional map and has a runic formula on how to open dimensional gates. Something that was hidden by him. He was studying because that's also, just like necromancy, is one of the forbidden magics. Because interdimensional travel is one of those things that opened up the portals of other worlds. That's what happened. That's why the Black Ocean happened. All the bad stuff that happened to this world happened because people were playing with portals. Extra-dimensional travel and necromancy, the black magic, are forbidden except at the highest levels, which are only supposed to be meant for academic study. So when you reach that level of wizardhood and you study planar travel or you study
necromancy. You're not supposed to actually use that magic. Apparently, Mert and Nick did some using. That's what caused the accident. Mert thinks he can open the planes and send the things that are ruining your world back to where they came from with strong enough magic. So we need you to retrieve this book, and unfortunately, there is another part of the map that is in Immortal Nick's Keep in Mert's old library. You have a majority of the map in the primer. If you tear out the pages on the back of them, there's a magic spell that can reveal the hidden stuff once you place them all together like a puzzle. But you'll be missing a few pages. You'll be missing 3 pages, which are in the back of a separate book in Immortal Nick's library at the top of the Wizard's Tower in the High East. If you get all that stuff, Mert thinks he can either access other planes, possibly heal this world, possibly use that magic to bring himself and your mother back to true life, although he's not sure. He tried before, and that's what caused the explosion when they're experimenting with reanimation and bringing people back to life from the dead. If you're up for it, that's the mission he's got for you, if you choose to accept it.
Well, yeah, I'm part of this now. Like, it's obviously written on my face.
The Black Swan have infiltrated many things on the surface, have taken the place of many of the town's residents, using mostly kitsune powers of shapeshifting. Gestures over to the 2 kitsune in the room, and they wave their hands in front of their face 2 or 3 times, and it changes shape. Every time they wave their hand in front of their face is a different face. So be careful, because it's hard to know who to trust. It's hard to know who's in the Black Swan and who's not, and if you even do find people in the Black Swan, you may or may not be able to trust them depending which faction they're in. Some groups of kitsune have this thing like ancestor worship as part of their culture, and so they just revere the dead very much, which is why these bodies on slabs seem to be pretty well preserved. They're underground, these cold, dark caverns. They have Mert doing his best he can on their bodies. He hasn't been able to bring them back to life, but he's obviously reposing them just like he's reposing himself and your mom. So he's keeping these bodies that have died in good condition in hopes he can one day raise them. But he's been apart from his library too long. Down here, he's had to rely on his memory alone.
First things first, let's get that book for you, Uncle Mert.
Good luck. Do you need any assistance from any of our help? He's got 2 kitsune that can shapeshift and go with you if you need assistance. The rat folk may not be much help above ground. They're usually looked down upon. You could take them as well. He's got 2 rat folk, 2 kitsune. You can take any help you like. He's offering them as assistance. They seem to be loyal servants of his.
One of the fox people?
You take kitsune. Bob the kitsune will join your troop. Bob will lead you guys back out the tunnel. He's got a tattoo somewhere in his body. He's dressed in all black. He's got a cool robe like you do. Looks pretty similar. The boar follows.
Yeah, I'm with them.
You don't want to hang in that creepy cave with the dead people?
I've seen some crazy shit today.
It smells bad in there, not the kind of bad you like. Your mom waves goodbye, Ivory, holding your uncle's hand as you leave.
I look
guys
back at them.
Give him a side eye. You guys head back down that dark cavern to where the cavern ends, and there doesn't seem to be anything there. It's like a little crevice with a shadow, and the kitsune looks over you. He's like, you want to try it, or should I? He's like, it's pretty easy. He just leans on the wall and closes his eyes and then disappears. And a second later, he reappears. And he's like, see, it's pretty, you want to try? Make sure you grab the pig.
Taking hold of the pig, I just Michael Jackson lean it over.
Touch the pig, lean, close your eyes, and you fall through the rock.
Hold my eye, I want my eyes open.
You have to close your eyes to go through the rock. You can open them as soon as you come back out, but to go through the rock, you have to close your eyes. You have a moment of blindness in the travel.
I'll close my eyes and go there.
Alright, you close your eyes until you feel the sense of air around you. Open your eyes. You're back in the busy market. The kitsune Bob looks over you and says, Put up, hide your tattoo.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Of course, by the time you guys are above ground, he's changed himself to a human form. Looks like a Bob now. Looks like a guy named Bob. So he's blending in. He's also got the robe on. You guys are just walking through the market, trying not to be noticed, with the boar walking in between or beside one of you in the market. Where you guys want to head, looking for your friends.
Oh, I can just smell that out for us.
Oh, you want to try that? You do have a good snout.
Yeah, I could do a smell perception.
Either smell perception or smell survival.
Perception first. 27.
A lot of smells going on. And Bakefo doesn't really have a smell because Bakefo changes bodies a lot. But I will say the air goo is a very distinct smell, not of this world. So I'm gonna have to let you pick up a whiff that you can't pinpoint it. Get a whiff. You get an idea of what direction, towards the inns and bars, away from this market area. Somehow need to communicate to your new masters that that's the direction you want to go and they should follow.
I walk up to Ivory, and I look at him, not the way I looked at him when I wanted the treat, but just a cold stare. And I turn around so my butt is facing him, and I let out a little toot.
Tune in next time for more The Other Dungeon.
episode of Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater was sponsored by our fans and friends on Patreon. Donate today. Keep Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater alive.